This old telephone booth is an old one. It's lined with metal, which a lot of them weren't. But I suppose quite a few of you folks would be able to say you saw them out on the street around in a lot of the towns. This one was one of the first in Brighton, and it was right outside our building here. And it was, of course, used by everybody in town, but very useful, and you were able to call your relatives. The penny-farthing originated in England because it's called a penny-farthing, and the big wheel would be the size of a big penny in England, and the small wheel's a farthing. The penny-farthing is one of the pieces that we actually picked up when we were coming home from the East Coast. I actually did ride that bike. Yes, the signal lights were very plentiful around because they were not only on the trains, they were both on the cabooses, a lot of them, beautiful colors. They were red and green, of course, so fellas know green was to go and red was to stop, just like our lights today. But they were also on a crossroad, they had them too. So people driving their cars, even horse and buggies, knew when they had to stop, when a train was coming. They are very interesting tools, and that piece there happens to be one that actually men working to lay the railway tracks carried across our country. It happened to move the tracks in the right places, so very useful, but very heavy to move. This wash basin on the wall here, they were on the cars if you were traveling overnight on the train, and they would be able to open it up right near where you're sleeping overnight. So to have room to move around, they made it so you could close it. So very interesting wash basin. It's actually on loan to us. It was a piece of electrical machine to control the trains. You had to know Morse code because we didn't have telephones when this station was built, so people would come to our half door here and they would want to send a telegram to their friends. From Toronto to Montreal was a full 12-hour trip. It was stopped at every little place on there. It was a long trip from Toronto to Montreal. The one next to it is just all we have left of the third railway track we had here in Brighton many years ago, and it was called the Ontario Northern. And I'd like to tell any of you, if you're from up Coburg way, when you go over their bridge, if you look north, way up in the field, you'll see little short telephone poles. And they were what's left over from the Ontario Northern group.